Studio.
Hi, Paul. Good evening.
Thank you for coming at short notice. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, nice having you.
As EduWatch, what's your relationship with the Ministry of Education or the GES?
In Ghana, we provide technical assistance to the Ministry of Education and to GES, and just as we do in other West African countries. That's one aspect of our work. The second aspect is that we hold them accountable to policy outcomes. So our role is dual, supporting government on one side to implement education policies that have transformational impacts on human capital development and are also efficient and effective. And on the other hand, demand accountability for policy outcomes from same. So that's how our relationship with government is, for that matter, the Ministry of Education.
Okay, so let's deal with it now. Do you know about this policy of cutting hair?
Well, the policy is not a policy of cutting hair. It's a policy to maintain to keep your hair in a particular way. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it's a rule. It's not a policy. It's a rule that exists in our public schools.
Yes.
Now, in secondary schools, these rules are important, and I'm explaining why educationists. I am not an educationist. I am an education policy person. I want to explain to you why educationists believe that this rule is important, and I, to a higher extent, subscribe to that. A secondary school, Ghana is the only country I know in the world where secondary education is boarding. I'm talking about public secondary education is boarding as a norm. Ghana is the only country I know in this world.
Secondary means what? GSS 1?
No, SSS 1 to SS 3. I'm talking about upper secondary. Okay. Now, if you have,
Ghana is the only place that upper secondary is boarding.
yes, it's the only country in the world I know where upper secondary is boarding as a norm in the public space.
You mean in other countries the boarding is a fewer?
Boarding is private.
Private schools?
Or is an exception in the public space.
Okay, not the ones owned by government.
Yeah, so about 85% of our secondary school students are boarders. Now, when you have a system like that, school teachers who manage schools have a huge responsibility of managing various characters from various walks of life, various backgrounds, socio-cultural, economic, you name it, as cosmopolitan as we are. One of the key challenges they face is in ensuring that as they mold character and as they mold academics, they are confronted with various practices, various cultures, various attitudes, various practices. One way they are able to manage such large numbers is by ensuring that the children in their custody adopt a uniform culture, a uniform way of life. They dress in a uniform manner. They speak in a uniform manner. They act in a uniform manner. And they appear with uniformity. That is why when we were in school, we will go to dining hall once. Everybody will go and eat at this time. It is not because someone wanted to deny you eating at another time. We'll go and sleep after evening preps at a particular time. It is not because someone didn't want to stay longer, but it is the uniformity. What we call uniform in Ghana is not the uniform we are talking about. That uniform word is because the schools want to see that we are uniform. We are the same. We appear the same. That's why we have uniforms here. I'm talking about in Ghana's case. Where I did many of my primary schooling in Canada, we're not wearing school uniform. Okay.
You go to school with your own dress?
Yes, but I'm talking about a boarding system here. And so uniformity in appearance is a sine qua non for about 100 teachers, if not less, to manage a community of 5,500 students who come and sleep there for 3-4 months. And the community is called Presec. Can you imagine what we go through in taking care of just 2 or 3 children at home? And a small budget managing 5,500 students. And so uniformity is very, very important to the successful management and molding of character delivery of academics, etc. in our secondary schools. And I subscribe to that.
Is that the existing rule?
The rule has been there forever. The rule is that students should appear in a uniform manner. So one of the uniformity is that your hairstyle should be uniform.
All of us must have the same hairstyle.
Okay, uniformity doesn't mean the same, but it means similar, more or less. Not the same.
We can all be in punk.
Yes, because if you wear a particular hairstyle, it might take extra effort to maintain the hairstyle in school. That's one. Second, hygiene. Certain hairstyles require peculiar attention to maintain hygiene. And if hygiene is not maintained, it will obstruct public order.
No, the High Court disagreed with all of this in the case of Tyrone.
No.
They did. They mentioned hygiene.
I want to finish with
the judge said he had not been sufficiently convinced that there was any hygiene issue in Tyrone.
Yes. Okay. So this is what the managers, our school managers are saying.
But the rule is there now, or is being implemented?
No, the rule has been there since Adam.
But it's not being obeyed?
The intervention, it has been obeyed since Adam. The intervention in this rule was Magar. When Magar et al. And then Magar and others and Achimota went to court, their issue was that they were Rastafarians and that keeping their locks was a manifestation of their religious belief.
Correct.
And so Achimota denying them admission or compelling them to cut their hair was a denial of their right to manifest their religion. Religion is a constitutional right, fundamental, just as education. And the court held that, yes, schools may have rules. I mean, schools may have the right to implement rules as part of the approaches in regulating, human beings in a school environment. They are important. But in doing so, where the rules and constitutional rights intersect, where the school rules infringe on constitutional rights, like the right to religion, the right to religion will reign supreme. It's on the basis of that the judge ordered Achimota to admit the students. In that case that we are discussing.
But that means it's very easy to have other Magais.
It's very easy to have other Magais.
Yes.
But let's situate our issue within context. In the case that has raised the conversation, which is an important conversation to have.
So if I have a son in Presec, I tell the headmaster, it is our religious rule that my son must have a punk.
It is up to you to go to court and explain to the court that punk is now a religion. And then you show the court the religion which wearing punk manifests.
Well, that's easy.
Oh, read the judgment. You see how difficult it is. So the issue is that the case in question is a sad one. Sad because you see a decline. I mean, you see an emotional worry. Okay, you see an emotional worry on the face of the lady. So she was traumatized. I mean, she was down. That's why it's sad. But the reality is that I'm here to hear the argument that links cutting her hair to a limitation to the enjoyance of her religious right.
But the opposite, leaving her hair, how does that affect her work? Historically, that's what I'm saying. That what is the current state of affairs?
That's why I started from uniformity.
Because I knew this would come. What's the state of affairs right now? Today in St. Mary's, do they keep their hair? Do they cut it? What do they do?
They cut their hair.
In St. Mary's?
Yes.
So everyone is cutting. So every school is cutting their hair.
Every school.
So why do we need a reminder of the rule?
When we were in school, they were doing it. You didn't notice.
So why do we need a reminder of the rule?
We need a reminder of the rule because all this while, there was no distinct or explicit judgment by our courts until Magai.
No, away from Magai right now, the minister is announcing something that is not a policy.
The minister didn't announce. The minister is backing the school heads that don't backtrack and that you have my confidence.
Were they about to backtrack?
Because there was public backlash when the issue came into public.
Tell us the issue. The Mauli school?
No, the Yasantwa girls. Yeah.
A lady went to school with bushy hair.
Exactly. And the lady was asked to cut the hair before going through admission procedure.
Yes, of a new entrant.
And then the video went viral.
The hair is plenty.
Yes.
Just that. It's not permed.
Yes. No, I'm not in a position to say whether it was permed or not, but the hair was plenty.
Okay.
So the issue went viral. The video went viral. And then...
So Yasantwa were enforcing their rules.
Yes.
And the issue went viral and became topical.
Exactly. So
And people were raising issues of constitutional freedom and limitation and modernity.
Yes, and people were also raising modernity. And the minister was trying to back the school authorities because they work for him. You understand? And so trying to encourage them that they should stand firm and uphold the rule. The minister hasn't introduced any new rule. These rules have been there ever since.
Okay, so majority of people obey it.
People obey it.
No, is it majority?
Well, people obey it.
Is there any school that you can point to that sort of allows the girls to have their hair?
You may have one or two schools. I've seen pictures of foreigners in some school uniforms.
That raises a major issue.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen pictures of foreigners wearing...
In Achimota?
I think it was Achimota, yeah.
Yes. They are allowed to keep their hair, but the Ghanaian girl is not allowed to keep his hair.
So I'm explaining, what I'm talking about is a rule of a school. Let me tell you how our secondary schools operate. By the time my guy was being denied admission at Achimota, there were Rasa students, at least I knew one or two Rasa students in other high schools in the past.
That kept their hair?
Yes, that was an Achimota rule. Our secondary schools are run by boards. And when the school is not owned, but if the school was established by a mission, then you have the influence of that mission, be it Presby, Methodist, Ahmadiyya, or Catholic, bringing their influence to bear on management. So that's how our schools are run. And so the rules may not be the same for all schools, but universally it appears that you can't keep long hair.
No, but the question is, how does a foreign girl, foreign because of her color pigmentation, that's the obvious way people are determining it. How is a foreigner allowed to break the rules, but the Ghanaian is not allowed to break the rules?
I'm saying I saw a picture. I don't know.
Oh, it's been part of big public conversation.
Yeah, I've seen
it's
it.
a big
I don't
deal.
know whether
it's really now the naughty
picture.
point. It's now the naughty point.
I don't know.
Today.
I don't know about the rules for ladies in Achimota. I don't know about the exceptions to the rule, but you and I know that to every rule there may be exceptions. So I'm not competent to talk about that particular issue. But what I know about Achimota is that for their rule for men...
But Magai was an exception on basis of religion. People are complaining that the minister says, you don't have to keep a hair. People are seeing photographs all over, and people are sending the photographs. That I went to register in this school, this is the person. I went to register in this school, that's the person. So it appears that the rule doesn't have the uniformity that you are suggesting.
No, what I'm saying is that our secondary schools are managed by boards.
But the boards can decide on their own uniformity.
The rules are universal, okay? But there may be some exemptions in some schools.
Is it not as a result of modernity? When I went to Presec in 1988, you needed to wear a particular sandals.
We are still wearing it.
No, they don't do that
No,
anymore. No, they don't do that anymore.
They
don't do that anymore.
Everybody must bring a sandals.
You can wear your sandals however it looks like.
No. It's not true. I have students in Presec I take care of. They explain how the sandals should look like. It hasn't changed.
Yes, but it's not the same. It's not the same physical sandals that you are given by the school.
Some of the schools actually sell the sandals there because they want you to.
No, so they say black shoe.
Yeah.
They don't give you a black shoe.
Okay.
So you bring a black shoe.
Okay.
So everybody's shoe is black, but it's different kinds.
But you agree with me that the conversation we are having is about uniformity, right?
Yeah, but if you say uniformity and somebody can change based on the fact that
we've agreed that there can be some exemptions. Let me give you an exemption I know.
Yeah.
I know of a lady whose son attends a school in Ghana here who, for medical reasons, cannot cut the son's hair. The lady brought a medical report during admission last year. And the school authorities appreciated the medical report. To every rule, there will be exemptions.
So
you
think we are not against modernity when we do that?
I don't see any correlation between what you are discussing and modernity.
In Kenya, what happens?
In Kenya, I've told you that in South Africa, you will see different hairstyles. But in South Africa, nobody is a boarding student in a public school. Everybody is there. In Africa, Ghana is the only country that boarding is a norm. So we have a peculiar situation.
No, Ghana is a very important country that boarding is a norm. It's not a negative. For us political scientists, that's the reason why Ghana is the most peaceful country in Africa. That's part of the reason why we have not had civil war.
So rules in Kenya, Ethiopia, South Africa, Malawi, which are predominantly community day concept, cannot apply.
So
may not apply here.
A day school like St. Aquinas, they are good to have their hair anyway. They are day school, total day school.
I don't know about St. Aquinas.
No, the point you're making is that the boarding system, it generates a certain level of modernity that needs to be obeyed. It's not the same as a day system.
No, the point
so there are day schools
the
in
boarding
Ghana.
system comes with a certain level of responsibility.
Fair enough,
that requires.
So when the school is day, Bema Camp Secondary School, it's a day school. St. Thomas Aquinas, it's a day school. Laboni Secondary School has majority day and fewer boarding. Presec has more boarding, fewer day. There are day students everywhere. Does this rule then suggest that for day students, they may... Achimota has almost a quarter of them being day students.
I think the rule is the same.
But you said you're distinguishing between day and boarding.
Yeah, but the rule is the same because you and I will agree that it will be difficult for our school authorities, whose primary purpose is to provide fertile environment for teaching and learning, to be selectively applying these rules. Do you know how difficult it will be? We live in a country where, even at the national level, we have not been able to determine who can pay and who cannot pay fees. So if you tax school authorities to begin differentiating who does this and who does this, are you a day, it becomes more difficult to administer.
But the day is very obvious. It's the data is so clear, it's very simple.
We are outside, so it looks simple. When you are inside, it doesn't look simple.
But we went to a secondary school. I went to Presec. It's a day we know. In fact, when we inform one day, are in 1D. All the day students are in 1D. When we were in school,
the day to boarding ratio was about 65 to 35.
Oh, probably less. It was about 80 to 20. It was more.
Today, it is boarding as a norm. And so...
No, today rather?
Yeah, there are more boarders today. Because it's free. So everybody wants to go and eat free. Everybody wants to go and see school free.
I mean, when I was in Presec, the day students could be counted. Very few day students. Very, very few.
It has even reduced. It has even, So the point I'm making is
it's increased. The number of day students in Presec now has increased.
But what I agree with you is that...
The percentage has increased.
What you are suggesting is that for day schools, predominantly day schools,
no, because
we can have a different rule.
You're educating us that being a boarding school is an important part of this policy for the uniformity. So I'm giving you a school that is 100% day, St. Aquinas.
And suggesting that
what do we do with them?
We could have rules that may differ, right?
No, if the
it's
rules
a conversation you can have.
I get it. If the rules are predicated on being boarding, then it should not apply to day schools.
I was explaining to you how convenient having a uniform appearance in school makes managing school easier for our school managers because our system is heavily boardingized. You are saying that, but we have some community day schools, for instance.
Yes,
everybody's a day.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that that's a conversation we can have.
About those day schools?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a short situation because someone went to court and said that, look, my locks manifest my religion. And so I want to wear it. Went to court and then the frontiers were open. And now we've now had, religious rights being...
But you are not concerned that on social media, many parents are not happy with the policy? You're not concerned about it?
I am concerned that parents have shown significant zeal and enthusiasm over haircuts when for 5 years we still have challenges with textbooks in our schools.
And they didn't show that much enthusiasm?
Parents are not even aware.
Aware that what?
So parents are not even aware that textbooks are scarce in our schools since 2020 when we introduced the new curriculum. To date, textbooks are scarce.
Yeah, how do you know parents are not aware?
But they are talking about what they are aware of. So I'm speaking in parable. I'm saying that parents are not aware because they have the zeal and the enthusiasm to discuss hair, and they are still discussing it. But we've not heard them discuss.
So you think that the parents' priority may be misplaced?
I think we are majoring in the minors.
The parents' priority may be misplaced.
We are majoring in the minors. We take our children to school. Parents should be concerned about the things that teachers require to mold their children into the reason why they took them to school. So if your children are in school and textbooks are a challenge, and parents are not talking about it, and parents have the strength to talk about hair, then it means that our parents are becoming more concerned about our hair than our academics.
Maybe there's one thing you are not relating to, boss. You went to school in Canada, you said?
Primary.
Yes, primary school in Canada. And you came secondary school in Ghana?
Yeah.
Which school?
Benkum.
Benkum Secondary School, okay. You know that maybe because you went to primary school in Canada, you don't relate to the fact of the huge deficit of confidence in our children over the last 50 years. Ghanaian, if you travel abroad and you see, if you go to London today, and you seem confident in a shop, they think you are Nigerian. They don't think you are Ghanaian. Because the average Ghanaian is quite timid over the last 50 years for some reason or the other. Now, parents are beginning to see a growing confidence in their teenagers, different from themselves. And they are beginning to see the teenagers want to express themselves. They don't want a curtailment of this process so that their children become like them, growing up into the world without confidence. That may be the reason why you are seeing a lot of outbursts from parents and saying that leave the girls alone. And you are thinking they are majoring on the minors. So don't you think that's possible?
I don't think that being subjected to rules that have been affirmed and upheld by the courts is a process of making one timid.
Okay.
Other than that, our society will not have rules and regulations. They will have laws. They will become gather hunters, and then our society will become brutish and nasty.
But you don't also look at the differences in generations of Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen X, and what they do and how they express themselves and how they're looking at their colleagues. When I was a Gen Z, I couldn't see on my phone. I didn't have any phone. There was no mobile phone in the world. I couldn't see how Americans are going to school. Today, the Ghanaian 15-year-old is singing the same songs that American 15-year-old is singing. It wasn't possible in my time. So they are seeing the other parts of the world. Globalization is bringing the world to them and taking their world to the other world. So they will now feel a sense of deprivation if they can see on their phone, this is happening in South Africa, this is happening in Pretoria. Why can't it happen in Accra?
Our parents will rather come to appreciate that Britain, after thinking same, and moving in line with globalization for about 2 decades, just a month ago realized that their children are better off without using phones in school.
A certain category of children.
Globalization.
No, a certain category of children. Britain story. It's a certain category of children.
At least the category that were using phones can no longer use them.
Some of them.
Now, when they were using the phones and we were not using the phones.
We also use phones.
When their children were using schools in basic schools, and our children were not using school phones, people were making the argument you just made that we are behind globalization. Now, as Britain now now reneged on globalization, are they now behind globalization? Are we going to say Britain is now behind civilization? Is that what we're going to say?
Britain doesn't need to, because Britain has had a civilization of over 150 years leading the world.
The point you're making,
so they don't need to catch up. We need to catch up.
But the point you're making was that
Britain doesn't need to catch up. We have to catch up.
No, but Britain, we banned mobile phones 20 years ago in our schools. And Britain was using it. After 20 years, Britain now learns that it is obstructive to teaching and learning.
Britain
so
says that
are you saying that they are not moving along with globalization?
I don't know whether children below the age of 8 in Ghana use mobile phones, which is really what the story. That's the BBC story. Below the age of 8, that is a distraction to them.
No, our schools do not permit mobile phones at the pre-tertiary level.
At all.
Regardless of the age.
At the pre-tertiary.
Yes, at the pre-tertiary.
Yes, correct.
What I want to suggest to you.
But when they go home, they use the phone.
No, so what I want to suggest to you is that our education system, by not allowing mobile phones to be used in school in the past 20 years, did not become anti-globalization or did not become backward.
Okay.
Okay, the same way Britain, realizing that the mobile phone is only obstructive to teaching and learning today, Britain has not become backward. So let's not reduce globalization and the new world order to a hairstyle. Okay. But in the same way, I will say that there are conversations that should be had, like the one you raised. What if the school is a day school? What if the hair is kept in a day school, and then keeping it will be something that will not obstruct teaching and learning in school? The person spends more time at home than in the school. Conversations can be had. Someone went to court to expand the frontiers of the conversation we are having. So it's not an open and
So should we test the court's process? So parents go to court and say that the Ministry of Education cannot determine.
The court said that if your cultural right is infringed upon.
No, you can file a new action. You can file a new action. You can ignore that one and file a new.
But I can tell you that if we are to count the top 20 challenges in our education system, hairstyle will be number 101. We should be concerned about teaching and learning resources. We should be concerned about indiscipline. We should be concerned about how integrity has been thrown to the dogs.
Integrity of whom? Students, teachers,
haven't you heard about examination fraud, examination malpractice? Yeah. That you write an examination and then you have about 40,000 papers being cancelled.
In 1990, that happened. That's 30 years.
40,000?
1990.
40,000?
The whole country was cancelled. In 1990.
No. When a leakage occurs, that's
Yes.
happening. I'm talking about people's papers being cancelled, not because of leakage,
But
because you have
we're
copied.
cheating.
Yes.
Okay.
When did you hear that? We are now at the point where we are doing 10% more practice rate, the highest in West Africa. 10% more practice rate. 10%. So integrity means nothing. People go to school and they are minded to use ways and means to pass. That's the psyche. They go and learn cheating in school. Parents should be minded about so many important things that bother on academics and character molding, etc. But that's why we want to see our children. We want to see them emerge from school, come out refined to be responsible adults. Not children who are not responsible, but then they have very, very nice haircuts. Okay, what you want to see is more about the character and the academics. So let's support our schools to imbibe.
Can they not have nice hair and still do well academically and be disciplined, have integrity?
Yeah.
Can hair compromise that?
Yeah, if you go to Ajimota school now, go to Pesek, you see many nice hair. It's nice. Low hair, it's nice.
Can they not have grown hair and still pass the exams? And be disciplined and have integrity?
The hair has nothing to do with discipline. I haven't mentioned discipline in my discussion.
And integrity and passing exams and all of that?
Yes, but I'm saying that the integrity matters more. The integrity should matter more to parents.
Yes, but to the extent that the hair doesn't compromise the integrity, it's being short or high, does not compromise integrity.
I'm not saying the hair.
It has no correlation with integrity.
I'm not saying the hair is not important. I'm saying that the things we should prioritize should be the things that we expect our children to bring home after 3 years. And the first is your WASSCE results.
Yes.
The second is your character.
Yeah.
Those two things, let's prioritize them so that our children will bring good quality of
character includes confidence.
Yes. When we were in school, we were giving Sakura, but we are confident. So
maybe you are, but a lot of us are not.
No, the people with bushy hair, they are not confident.
Like who?
Oh, plenty people.
Plenty people with bushy hair are not confident.
I am confident.
And some with short hair are confident.
I'm confident. And let's people are confident.
Okay, let's take